All right, we're up to episode 20 of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. And our adventurers just got out of a gem mine, helping some kobolds who their leader was taken over by a ghost. And that was interesting. The ghost had some things to do with Kishezi. That didn't work out well for anyone. But you guys eventually got the kobolds free out of the mine and made a deal with the town of Tourmaline that they could find some work there and make a life for themselves out of the cold, maybe. And the miners have their mine back. And you found possibly a power source for a crashed Illithid's nautiloid vessel that Earl's holding on to. And just kind of the way we wrapped up last time, Earl was basically like seeking out to his various ethereal companions to get any sort of guidance. And you did feel like from whether it was Celestian or kind of just your own intuition, you did get a feeling that if you would attune to that psi crystal, it would be beneficial. But you haven't yet. You guys just took a long rest, and you are in the East Side Inn in Tourmaline, waking up on the 15th of Eliant, and it is noticeably colder this morning. It's the day that the town is sacrificing warmth to Auriel the Frostmaiden for her mercy in this endless winter. So all of the heat sources have been put out in the city.
Mm.
Yeah, you and the last thing we did at the previous night is you encountered the innkeeper as she was cleaning up and putting out some of the fires and the lanterns. And she told an interesting story and showed you a magical ring that she wears.
That's right.
Oh, and the other thing was with Kishezi, the lasting effect was that she seems to have aged suddenly. And you got word from Candlekeep that basically she needs powerful magic to help reverse it. And there's a 24-hour time limit when that can happen. And the only place you guys know of that could do anything like that is potentially in Bryn Shander.
Yes, this great debate.
But that was also the catch, because this is also the day that Bryn Shander is sacrificing a human instead of warmth. They are sacrificing a person to Auriel the Frostmaiden. And if you go there today, you're likely to wind up in the lottery to be chosen for sacrifice.
Well, Shesty, did we decide that it just was what it was, and we're going to sleep instead of rushing her there?
You did sleep, so it's probably pretty early in the morning. I'm guessing like 7 a.m. on the 15th.
I don't think we came to a conclusion before taking a rest.
Yeah, I think we were still kind of debating it, but we also knew we needed to take a rest. I mean, Kishesi, like, if you want us to try and do it, like...
Yeah, you're the one who's aged, so I feel like you're the one that...
Yeah, we can't decide for you.
We're not going to decide for you to age yourself 20 years. That's not really fair.
I appreciate that. Not gonna lie, this whole aging thing kind of sucks, but I think I can adjust. I do still feel like this power source that Earl's holding on to is a bit more important, and I'd rather not we die today. At Bridgelander.
So just I can throw in for context. The place you would need to go, the thing crashed in the mountains to the south. Bryn Shander is basically on your way, and it's going to take you many days to get there. So a stop off at Bryn Shander probably isn't going to delay you too much, but it is going to enroll you into this lottery probably.
And Bryn Shander is the only place that we know of.
Yeah.
Within the 24-hour time limit.
Yeah. I think that was the only. Candlekeep said that was the only place that we could get help here. Like, period.
There could potentially be other places, but you don't know of them.
I mean, we could just head out.
Another high-level cleric that you can convince to cast magic on you, but.
And just leave a few of us outside the town. Could we stay out of the perimeters and avoid the lottery if they didn't know our whole crew was there?
Yeah, you could avoid entering the town.
Yeah, I mean, one or two of us could just go.
Yeah, like if we've got the Jack, you've got the igloo thing, right? Still.
The dome of Kent.
Mm-hmm.
I have a tent.
So, if Kashesi, if you went to the cleric, then only one of us would be in the lottery, and you could still see if you get the magic that you need. And I suppose if that's the case, then Jackie might have to impart the team's money to her.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, we also don't know how much this is. Like, what if we go through the trouble and it's 300 gold or something we don't have?
It's a lot of gold.
Well, we're literally putting a price on 20 years.
Yeah. Is there some kind of insight check?
She's
one of us
into
that might know more.
Golden years.
But I'm bumped.
Is there an insight check we could do to think about how much we would pay a cleric for something like this? Who would probably know best? Earl, maybe.
Well, could I do a religion check maybe to see?
Go ahead with your religion check.
Okay. Sorry, I lost my dice, so I have to do the normal.
What's the going rate?
15.
You do know that spells of this nature have an additional material thing that gets consumed by the spell.
Yeah.
So it's not just someone casting magic. This particular one you're familiar with, there are diamonds involved.
Ooh.
So it's probably not cheap.
Okay.
So even just to cast a spell, let alone someone wanting to get paid for their work, just the spell itself costs money to get the components for it.
Could it be a really itty bitty diamond?
I think you're not sure exactly how much, but diamonds are involved.
I mean, we just come out of our mind. Just go back there and just work for it a little bit.
Hey.
I'm guessing it's going to be around 5,000 gold for a diamond.
Yeah, I can adjust to middle-aged guys. It's fine. I'm fine with this.
Are we aware of any other sources of power that even after the 24-hour limit, there might be a youth spell or something we could look into as almost a side quest?
I might have missed that.
Uh-oh. Are we aware of any other, even after the first 24 hours, is there a liquid or a spell that could like bring forth youth?
Potentially. But I'm sure as like a fountain of youth type magic is probably pretty well sought after, and is also probably pretty rare and expensive.
Yeah, I think it's like no matter how much we would love to do it, I think we're not going to be able to afford it. I think, and you know, then let's say like we put you at risk and they like you get pulled on the lottery, and then it's like, all right, we're trying to like make you younger, and then you end up.
Right.
So.
End up getting back.
And you do know they sacrifice one person. There are around 1,200 people in town.
Right.
So if you walk into town, you have a 1d 1201 chance.
Okay.
Yeah,
How lucky you feeling tonight?
Don't roll a 1.
Oh god.
all right. I'm good.
How do they kill these people? They just put them out there and let them freeze?
Yeah, from what you've heard, they just put them outside the wall of the city with no resources.
We'd be out there to receive them if one of us got pulled.
You would be immediately attacked by the town militia if you try to render aid.
That won't be a problem.
Then we'd also be like banished from the city too, I'm sure, which like this is the one place to get everything, and you know we're gonna have to come back here. Yeah,
this is something that you found like they take it very seriously because nobody wants this endless winter to get worse. So they're trying to appeal to the entity that they believe is in charge of it to ask you for mercy. And who knows if I'm sure there's people around who doubt it's doing anything and they don't like it. But yeah, so far anyone who has tried to stand up or go against it basically gets excommunicated or killed themselves.
well, while we're having this kind of depressing talk, I'm going to turn it around into an inspiring talk and give everyone 7 temporary hit points. Da-da-da. Take your hit points. Your daily
Thank
dose
you.
of hit points. Everyone.
Woo!
Okay, so I think we've kind of come to an, I don't want to say an agreement, 'cause it's not really an agreement, but like an acceptance of this is what the situation is. And we know we are going to go on like a several, like it's like at least a 10-day, right? Hike out.
You know that from after the avalanche, when you basically got to the tundra to Bryn Shander, along the road that took you like 8 days of travel.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere along there.
Okay.
And if you decide not to take the road, if you want to cut through the tundra, that's might be shorter distance, but then you're not taking advantage of the speed of the road. And you don't know exactly where it crashed. You just know it's in the mountains to the south.
So
Yeah.
basically, the next night I've got to attune to this thing and pray that it has no unforeseen consequences.
Yeah. Do we do we all feel good on rations and everything else? I guess before we set out, I've got 10 rations. And some tundra cakes.
Yeah, I've got
I'm good.
10 days of rations as well, and 3 tundra cakes. So, are we thinking if it's several days to get to the mountains, we're going to need probably like 5 days to get there, 5 days to get back?
I think it's longer than 5 days even just to get there.
Mm. Well, if we stop into towns each night, then perhaps like on day 3 or 4 we can get provisions.
I feel like the only town that we might possibly
So let's bring up the map.
I think it's just Bryn Shander is the only one that would be on the way, right?
I have lots of rations.
If we follow the road, we go down to Targos first, and then kind of Bryn Shander, and then it's nothing until we get to like the Avalanche area.
Yeah, you guys are up here in Tourmaline along the lake. And yep, just what Megan said. You'd come down, you pass Targos on the way up if you're following the road. Bryn Shander is here on the hill. And then you kind of got, you can either take the road down towards this way, it heads to the mountain pass. And where you saw is something crashed in the mountains, maybe down over here. But you don't know exactly where in the mountains. So kind of the crash, the closest town to the crash is probably Dugan's Hole, like as the crow flies. But if you're trying to take roads, Bryn Shander is probably the closest by road.
Would you say we could technically go down to like Goodmead and then Dugan's from there and then around?
Yeah, you can potentially cut past Bryn Shander down to Goodmead. Dugan's Hole hasn't shown up on your map. You haven't been there yet, but it's about here. And then you're not sure. You assume there isn't going to be a road from Dugan's Hole into the mountains.
Do we want to maybe do that, and then that way we can like restock up at, or maybe that's the way back. You know, maybe the way back we go up to Dugan's to get more supplies and stuff. Because it would be quicker if we take roads. So we can get there on our rations. And then Dugan's isn't that far.
And I suppose worst comes to worst, we could trap an animal and eat it. Or fish. Since we have at least one of us has a fishing license.
That's true, and I have a trap.
Are we still too broke to get a sled?
I think so. Yeah, I say we do that. I say we go the big main roadway because that will be the quickest, and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Bryn Shander along that way.
Yeah, like we won't go in, but we'll like wave and be like, "Hi." All right, let's do this.
All right, so you guys head out. It's still pretty early in the morning from Tourmaline and head south.
And we have great weather the whole way.
That's fun. Yeah, so far it's been clear. It's still your usual morning. It's dark out with the aurora overhead, kind of giving you a little bit of light until 9 to 10 a.m. Start getting a little bit of sun popping up, and the aurora kind of dissipates. But it's about 6 hours to get to Bryn Shander. You'd swing past Targus along the way. I assume you're not interested in stopping there.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
All right, and from Bryn Shander, you're not stopping. You're swinging around and heading south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you keep going. Bryn Shander, you could probably get there around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still kind of bright out. But yeah, another hour or so of traveling to the south, it gets dark. And a little bit after that, you're kind of reaching your travel limit for the day, unless you want to push through and gain exhaustion.
I'd say we just camp for the night.
Camp near the road.
Okay. Yeah, it's since you passed Bryn Shander, it's been pretty lonely. On the other roads, you are occasionally passing another traveler, or some merchant group, or a caravan trying to tow wares and try to still maintain some economy during the difficult times. But yeah, heading down the north-south pass, there's no one traveling this way except you guys. But yeah, you can set up camp, and you guys are each using up a ration.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I'll eat a tundra cake. Get rid of that first.
Okay. Alright, anything else you guys want to do on this day? It's kind of it's a travel day, but it's kind of a relaxing day compared to some of the other stuff you've been through.
True. Are we gonna do like rounds of watches like we usually do?
Is there any threat out here?
I mean, kinda could be anything.
How long would it take for me to go attune to the side crystal?
About one short rest.
Okay.
So around an hour.
If we do the watches, I can take the last one and can I attune and be on watch at the same time?
I would say you'd probably be at disadvantage to any perception that you're doing if you're trying to do that.
Yeah.
I can take first watch then.
I'll do second.
I'll do the third.
Okay.
Okay, so Shazia, have you make a perception check.
All right. Ooh. 18, 21.
Voice.
21. It is just cold and lonely, and just you see just snow-covered tundra and some rolling hills. There is, if you're looking back towards Bryn Shander, you can see some lights of the town a few miles in the distance. But yeah, it's just kind of a cold night to to think about what you gave up on your way here.
Got it.
Lay it on.
And I'll say, Earl, as you fall asleep, you have similar recurring dreams that you have been. Lots of just memories of living out on the tundra. And this one kind of battle that took place with this large crystal tower. And you do hear something whisper to you that says, Gren Shinabon.
Gren Shinabon?
Kren Shinabon. You're not sure what it means.
A Cinnabon?
It's when you
Like Cinnabon? like the
kind of like Cinnabon, but Kren Shinabon. It's when you're looking at this big crystal tower, you hear this whisper to you.
Do I know what language it is?
You're not sure.
I know I'm in my dream, but could I do like a history check or an insight, or I'm just out of it?
When you wake up, you can.
Okay,
I'd like a cream cinnamon.
that does sound good.
All right. So yeah, Kashazi, you see the aurora spark up in the sky again, like you've seen most nights, and it is kind of interesting watching it begin, how it just lights up the sky.
Okay, so I'll just go wake up Dewey now.
Alright.
We'll roll her out of her little ball that she's normally in.
Do a little. It's cold, so I've been in a tight ball type of a situation. So, all right.
Yeah.
I think like Dewey just feels like kind of guilt about Kashesi, like that we couldn't do anything. So like it's sad that trying not to think about it, but then you're like in my face waking me up, so I'm like, guilt again. Thank you.
And that was kind of setting the stage as if it were like a quiet evening, but really it's not. It's very loud with wind. There's this constant gusting wind that's actually pretty loud.
I'm wrapping in my
Dewey in my bear pelt.
Oh, I already have my dire wolf.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm wrapped in that. It matches my color. Okay. I will sit out and take watch.
All right, make a perception check.
11?
11 yet. It kind of goes by again peacefully. Looking around, there's a lot of nothing around you. You see the aurora in the sky. You see still some lights from the town. Most people have probably gone to sleep by now. Probably think about how they've selected their sacrifice and already sent them on their way.
I'm not thinking about that.
Oh, okay.
I am. It might come into my head, and I'm like, nope, not thinking about those sad things. I'm probably like lightly humming some tune in my head. I mean, it's the wind is so noisy that
try some halfling party song.
Yeah, I can do some like kind of song and have it not. I won't bother anybody.
Yeah. Start to have some sad thoughts, but you just change the mood in your own head anyway.
Yeah, I'm not about that. Not about that sad life.
All right. Yeah, and time just kind of goes by. You might think about a couple nights ago when you spent the night in a tree.
Fun times.
But yeah, nothing else of note really happens.
Okay. I'll go give Jack a little soft knock on his shell. Wake him up. Toot, toot, toot.
I'm enclosed all of my shell. All the holes are capped with cloth. And I'll take out one plug and then peek my head out. It's already time.
And I'll and stretch, kind of ready to go curl back up. Be like, "Yep, not much out there. Just a lot of cold wind."
All right, I'll use my staff to help myself up, and then go take my watch.
All right, let's make a perception check.
$18.
And yeah, you stay there for, I don't know, a good 40 minutes and just kind of look out into the distance and not seeing much of anything, just kind of being sleepy and cold. But you do notice in the distance a light seems to be moving. It is towards the town. You see the lights of the town, but kind of off further to the west, you see a light that seems to be moving. Something looks more like something on the ground is lighting up like a beam of light into the sky.
I rub my eyes and squint harder. I'm the first to see this, right?
Let's make a history check.
$12.
So actually, I don't even remember who it was, but previously it was on your first quest out from Bryn Shander. Someone else saw something very similar to this one night.
I was gonna say it sounds familiar, but I don't remember if I saw it either.
But yeah. To Jack, this sounds familiar. That's been described before.
And it's west of Bryn Shander?
Yeah. You guys are probably a couple miles to the southwest of the city.
Okay. Well, I'll just make note of it on my scrolls. Is there any wood laying about?
Make an investigation check.
20.
Looking around your kind of immediate campsite area, you don't find anything that you could use for any kind of wood.
Then I'll sharpen my knives and keep an eye on the light.
Okay. Yeah, it's still over there. It's still moving occasionally.
Is that me in the background crying in my sleep about something?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, it is. It's getting close to kibble time.
I'm having a bad dream.
Dewey's dreaming about kibble time.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's exciting. Then, if no one's looking, I'll pull out my little dog figurine and, prance it around.
Okay.
And then I spend some time getting real close and looking at Kashesi as she sleeps. Checking for any signs of ghost residue.
Okay, Jack, make a stealth roll.
I thought you were gonna say like looking for like wrinkles on her face to like see how like old she's gotten.
I got a 2.
Okay,
It's not good.
Kashesi, you notice a large turtle kind of hovering above you as you're trying to sleep.
My eyes just like shoot open, and I just like prepare to cast a spell, and it's like, oh wait, is something wrong, Jack?
I just turn around and walk away like nothing's happening.
You saw
Quickly.
nothing.
I kind of just stare at him as he goes back to like his post, and just like
Just brush it off as
it's starting to get
sleepwalking.
weird. Yeah. Just curl up and go back to sleep.
All right. Anything else for Jack?
Any other creeping?
There's so much potential here. I'll take a few more notes and plan some more things for the inn and my scrolls and think about the sheep some more. But I'm good. I'll go wake up the next. It's Earl, right?
Yep.
Oh. All right, I'll walk over to Earl. And I guess I'll poke Earl with my quarterstaff.
Earl would just kind of be like, Grinchina, Grinchina. Grinchina.
All right.
Jack?
Yep, it's about that time, Earl. I'm going back in.
Time for me to go to sleep? Okay. Earl goes back into his tent. Okay.
Cream cinnamon.
Grinch.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Grinch Cinnabon. Okay.
Jack pulls off one of his sock and like dangles it to tickle Earl's nose.
Oh, dude. When's the last time you washed?
What's that? My skin doesn't get dirty. Get up.
Ugh, Celestian curse you, dude. Ugh. Alright, Earl gets up reluctantly.
Is that one of Kadroth's socks?
Could be. I've got so many from so many people. Yeah, it was. This one was.
I didn't realize you had such a sock collection that was happening.
There's a lot of things y'all don't know.
A lot we don't want to know.
Earl just glares, says, "You're lucky we're friends." I'm up. I'm up.
That's how I keep all the money in separate socks. All right, then I go back to bed and close up my shell.
It also serves in case you need to bludgeon someone in a pinch.
My thoughts exactly.
Great. Well, can I? Would it be an insight check or a history check on what Crunchinabon is?
Make a history check.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Everything seems to come back to what you read about in the history of Icewind Dale, about how this demon tried to basically conquer the 10 towns at one point, and this crystal tower. You remember seeing the name Kren Shinabon before in that story.
Okay.
Since you got a 20, I'll say it is the name of that crystal tower.
Okay. Yeah. Do I happen to know how long this might have been ago, other than long ago?
I should know this, but I think it's around 150 years ago.
Is it around that same time that there was like a tower, or when we went to Brinkshaven the first time, there was like this statue of a guy or an elf?
I'm gonna say you're not sure how they're connected. You did see that statue on the way out of town again, just south of Brinchander, where it says Master Tiago. I forgot the exact quote on it. Like, here's where Master Tiago slayeth the demon.
Okay. Well, I'll take out some parts then and like write it down, intending to send it to Candle Keep. In the meantime, can I attune to the Psi Crystal and hope I don't get a third demon?
Sure. So you sit down with the Psi Crystal, and I'm gonna look it up just to make sure I know everything that's gonna happen.
Oh no.
Because I think I know most of them, but I'm gonna read the item just to double check I understand it.
Okay.
Girl's intelligence score is 14. So yeah, you sit down, you have this crystal in your hand, and you're studying it and just kind of meditating on it. And you look into it, and it starts to glow. It has this inner purplish light.
Okay.
And by the time you're done, it acts like a little flashlight. It has it'll be bright light for 10 feet around. And you suddenly hear this voice in your mind.
Okay.
This is a language that you understand, but you've not heard it used in quite a while. This is a message in deep speech.
Oh. Okay.
And you hear it say, and there's this buzzing noise with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear it say, Nautiloid down. Emergency protocols enabled. Crew safe, but vessel imperiled. Psi crystal needed. Come at once. And about every minute, this message repeats. And you kind of get an image in your mind of like a direction that is slightly east of where the road is leading you.
Okay. Am I going to hear, how loud is this like voice in deep speech? Like, is it like distracting?
It is a little bit annoying because it's like every minute it happens and you notice it, but it's not like it's like yelling at you.
Okay.
So it's not the most fun sensation of having this in your mind all the time, but it's not too difficult to try to ignore it.
Okay.
At this point, you're used to voices in your head. What's another?
Yeah, let's just add another personality to the choir.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you are aware of someone else nearby. Now, you always kind of have this, since you met Krabrak, you've kind of always had this feeling of being followed or someone being around. But you can really sense there's another presence here.
Okay. I turn around towards the presence.
Yeah, you can't see him, but you just kind of know there is a bearded devil sitting on the ground about 20 feet away, outside of your camp.
Do I know who this bearded devil is?
You assume it's Crayback.
Okay. I guess I walk towards Craybrack and say, I can see you.
You kind of feel a response to that, but you don't hear anything. It's kind of strange. You're through the power of the psi crystal. You're like reaching out mentally, and you can feel this mental energy there. Something seems to be blocking it somehow. You can also kind of feel your other teammates where they are in the tent. You know they're there. But something with Craybrack, something's a little different. Something seems more guarded there, like he's not letting you in.
Does Craybrack know that I can sense him with the psi crystal?
I don't think you know for sure, but you are. This is probably the first time where he's not letting you see him, and you've directly approached his location.
Okay. Not understanding quite what's going on, I'm going to at least walk towards Craybrack's presence and just sit down and see if he does anything.
He doesn't seem to move. But you get that he's just kind of sitting there.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll keep attuned to the crystal, I suppose.
Okay, you are attuned at this point.
Okay.
So I think you have all 3 attunement slots full at the moment.
Yes.
So if you want to attune to anything new, you would have to unattune to something.
Okay.
And I think the other thing you'd be looking for, you'd probably try to reach out and see if you can sense the other ghost that's around you that you know of.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't seem to find anything.
Okay. I will write down what I'm feeling with the psi crystal in a note to send to Candlekeep.
Okay.
And I guess for the remainder of the time, I'll just kind of focus on the flute from my brother and just kind of stare at it.
Okay. All right. And so, yeah, time passes until eventually the rest of the team starts to wake up. It is a new morning in the dark and cold, the 16th.
All right.
This morning I'll blow the longhorn to wake up the party quickly.
I will.
You blow which horn do you blow?
My longhorn.
Okay.
Earl takes one of Jack's socks and puts it on a longhorn and just shakes his head and says, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm ready to have the avalanche fall on us.
So yeah, Jack probably gets a good couple sounds out of it before he gets blocked. And I think he's probably feeling pretty proud of himself as well.
Yep.
Do you do anything once that gets shut down, or do you just accept it?
I see I watched the reaction of Kashesi. See if anything's out of the ordinary.
I mean, I wake up a little faster than normal,
Okay.
and I am immediately aware of a little bit of back pain, but you know, I fix that in a few seconds.
Oh yeah. Because you're old.
Just gonna rub it in.
We could have a bit of tea this morning if y'all want.
I will gladly accept some tea.
Yeah, I'll do tea.
Sounds good.
How are you brewing the tea?
Yes, how are you?
Inside my shell, body heat, and in my canteen. It's warmed up through the night. It's kind of like a sun tea, but I'm not that cold-blooded. It is slightly warm.
I feel like it's nothing like a sun tea because there's no sun.
I radiate. Me and Lathander go way back. So I pull out my flask and then offer it again.
Is this like the worst tea we've ever tasted? Are we just like friend drinking this?
I'm imagining it's
Yeah.
nearly frozen, and it just has like bits of like tea granules just floating in it.
I mean, do you want it or not? Beggars can't be choosers. It's a saying we have in the Turtle Kingdom. All right, well, I take a good swig of it.
I mean,
And I'm like, see? Nothing to it.
I just use prestidigitation to just make it warm.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Look at you.
Yeah, that works out. That it becomes.
I see you do that, and I
it
take my
becomes
cup and
hot water.
towards you.
It becomes hot water with bits of tea granules floating in it.
I mean, that's what tea
bearable.
is.
If that bothers y'all, I got several things I can strain it through.
Are any of them socks?
All of them are socks.
I just ignore the comment and pretend like you didn't say it.
I just take Dewey's cup and just heat in the warmer tea.
So is this all taking place in your tent, or where are you guys set up for your tea?
Probably in the tent.
That's fine. I already went out and stretched and came back in. All right.
So
I'll pass it around.
yeah, so I'm gonna have everyone roll a Constitution saving throw
Oh my god.
as your tent flips open and a bright light shines in on your tent.
Constitution
19.
saving throw.
Can I have a reaction to that?
I'm gonna say no because you are surprised.
Okay. 1.
8.
14?
Okay.
19.
Jack and Earl, you are blinded. So you can't see. You will automatically fail any ability check that requires sight. And any attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage.
Blind sight.
Yep. And yeah, there's this entity at the door to your tent. Let's roll for initiative.
Freaking.
Uh, 8.
15.
7.
17.
So Dua, you are up, and as the light starts to fade, you see this thing that is at the front of your tent, and you kind of got your hand up to block the light, and looking past it, it seems like it's just like a coat with light coming out of it. It's really strange. You can't quite tell who's in there, but it looks like a humanoid coat is coming in and shining light at you.
Okay.
Let me see if I can give you a picture.
Oh.
How to visualize it. It looks a lot like this.
Oh. Great.
You know, one of those.
That
And,
doesn't look
it's just
spooky at all.
That looks sweet.
yeah, it's just
Creepy
looking in your tent at you.
Okay. Oh. I mean, I don't think anything I can do is gonna do anything to this. I guess I will just take out my rapier and try to like slash it. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be like this instinctual reaction to like just be like, ah.
Okay.
So.
Come up and make an attack.
That is going to be a 15.
A 15 is a hit.
Oh. Okay. And what am I doing? A 8 plus 2. 7.
7 damage, okay.
Yes. And then I'm going to give I'm gonna give Jack a bardic inspiration.
Oh, I'm feeling it.
So that is a D6 that you can add to pretty much any roll that you think that you need it.
Okay.
And I was literally going to say it when you were, but I was like going to say, I've done my little song of inspiration, like with the tea. Like I was about to say it
Yeah.
right when you said, But just FYI, I did that. So everyone still has their temporary.
You've been so inspired by Dewey's speech. You guys all feel a little bit more healthy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And my tea. Oh, it's my turn.
And I know I don't have a battle map up, but this is all kind of happening in a small tent. There isn't not too many places to move around.
Oh. I guess I can't really swing my glaive. It's a small tent, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I almost
So you could try to push past it and go out, or you could try to rip the tent, but then you don't have a tent.
okay.
I almost barreled through him to push him out on the ground or something. That was what my other thought was.
What'd you do in your attack? Sorry.
I just
She's
rapiered
with a
him.
rapier.
Did it do anything?
It did 7 damage.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of slicing.
Yeah, I'll say going through it did feel like hitting someone rather than just going through cloth.
Oh, that's good.
Did he attack us first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll just do a glaive attack. I can still jab straight out the door.
All right.
Okay, so 13 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. And then and then 8 damage, and I'll use a spell. Let's see. Divine Smite. Uh, 14 damage. So I use Divine Smite.
Okay.
And do I get the opportunity attack with the Polearm Master? Or is that
Let me see.
if I step back or something? Or is that only when they're entering?
I'm checking. So yeah, you attack with your extra divine smite, and it does. It's hard to even tell. And say, Jack, with your blind sight, you can't even tell the extra light that you are damaging him with your radiant damage. But it is. Let me double check to make sure, but yep, it does 14 damage. And your Polearm Master, that comes into effect when they first enter your reach.
Okay, I have one last question. Is he an undead or fiend? Because I get an extra 1d8 against those, or would I know?
You do not know.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and roll another d8.
Okay, 3 more.
Okay. And then, is that it?
Yeah, I guess I'll stumble to the side to make room so my comrades don't hurt me.
Okay.
Good choice.
As you move to the side, it's going to just kind of just move its torso around and to follow you. And it's going to make an attack against Jack. That's a 17 to hit.
I'm 17. Does that hit?
Yes,
Okay.
just barely. Find my dice. That's going to do 5 bludgeoning damage plus 7 cold damage
Okay.
as it kind of slams you. Then
All right.
another ray of light comes out of its face, and that's going to attack Jack with a 11 to hit, which I think misses.
It does.
All right. And it's just kind of standing there in the wind, and it's just kind of like not moving its feet so much, but moving its torso around to look at the rest of you. And you can't see any, like, it's just light coming out of where its face should be.
I turned and my shell caught most of it. It's nothing compared to the fungus.
Yeah. And it's Kishozi's turn.
I kind of want some distance because it's a tight spot. I think I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Level 1 Thunder Wave. And do a saving throw.
Yeah, so it needs to make a... I think... So Thunder Wave happens in a 15-foot cube from yourself, is that right?
Yes.
So everyone needs to make a Constitution saving throw, other than Kishozi.
What's going to happen?
We might say goodbye to this 10.
No.
We have another one.
Oh.
Do we?
5.
Wait, what save is it? I'm sorry.
Constitution save.
Can I use my inspiration on this?
Yeah, you can. It's going to be a D6
Okay.
extra. I got 15.
Natural 20, so 22.
9.
That's with the D6?
Yeah.
All right, Kishozi, go ahead and roll your 2d8 thunder damage.
Alright. That is a 6. And a 5, so 11.
So Jack takes 11 thunder damage, and everyone else takes 5.
I really wanted him out of the tent. Sorry, Jack.
And Jack got pushed away 10 feet.
Ow.
And yeah, he kind of got pushed away from Kishozi. And the tent is kind of gets pulled, and some of it falls over, some of it rips.
So am I outside the tent? Did I get blown out the door with the ghost man?
I'm imagining, like, we don't have it on a map, so I'm just kind of making it up as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine you kind of went off to the side because you said you were trying to back up from him, and Kishozi was already there. So I'm guessing you got pushed to the side into the side of the tent, and now like the rest of the tent kind of collapsed on everyone.
Got it. Thanks. Thanks, Kishozi. No more tea for you.
And yeah, you hear just boom from the spell, makes a loud noise, and even above the wind, it's kind of interesting. You can hear the direction the wind is blowing because it pushes the sound that way.
Well, trying to push him out.
All right, then
I'm
Earl
push-
is up. And Earl is double checking. Earl is no longer blinded.
Oh, okay. That completely changes what I was going to do because I was thinking that I had a tent over me, I was blinded, and I just got thunder waved. Okay.
Yeah, you do have I will call this difficult terrain as you're in this collapsed tent.
Okay. Can I? Is it an action like to get the tent over me so I can see that whatever this thing is?
If you're just trying to like push your way through, I'll say no. But if you're trying to like get the tent back up, or yeah, I think futzing with the tent is going to be difficult to do given this scenario. So I'd call that a full action if you're trying to just get it out of your way.
Can I like remove the tent a little bit while casting spiritual weapon?
Yeah, I think you can cast spiritual weapon. I don't think you need to even see the target for that.
Okay. Alright, I will cast spiritual weapon then.
All right, what form does your weapon take?
It's gonna take the form of like a giant walking cane that I'm kind of imagining that you either use it like as a bludgeoning tool or like with the crook of it, almost like kind of like jostling it around a bit.
Okay, and where is it going to appear?
I'm imagining this cane's like 6 feet long, so kind of like in between me and the walking floating coat thing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll an attack for it.
Okay. Uh, 16.
16 is a hit.
Okay.
I think your damage should be 1d8 plus 3.
Okay. That's a 9.
9 damage, okay. All right, you bash it, and that was just a bonus action. So you're using the rest of your action to just try to get the tent situated.
I would say yes. I didn't realize. I thought that to cast spiritual weapon the first time was an action.
It's a bonus action.
Regardless.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's
And
really
then yeah, it's a good spell, and then the weapon stays up for each of your next turns. You can use a bonus action to attack with it.
okay. Well, I guess then I would use the remainder of my action to get the tent off me because I'm assuming I wouldn't be able to use any other spell unless I could see the target.
Okay, I'll say make a dexterity check.
Oh man. 13.
But you're able to basically position it back up. It rips where Jack was, so Jack is now completely outside of the tent. But otherwise, you set it back up so it's stable, so it's not in anyone's way anymore.
Okay.
I just roll out.
All right, and we're back to Dewey's turn.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I will. Well, you know what? I am. No, I'm going to do this instead. I am going to cast Bane on the target. I guess I'll just do level 1. So he needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. That is an 8.
So you failed. So target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from an attack or saving throw until this ends. So it is 1 minute.
Okay. It is baned. Okay, Jack's turn.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to do a bonus action and give Earl a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna run up from behind and do a searing smite with my glaive.
Okay.
11 to hit.
That misses. Yeah, that misses.
Then I'll just keep running past out of range of hair.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's turning its gaze towards Dewey, and it's going to flash its bright light again to make a Constitution saving throw.
And does my Bane have anything with it affecting it?
No, that's stuff that attacks on him.
That is gonna be a 13.
That is a fail. You are now blinded.
Blinded by the light.
It is going to continue to attack Dewey. This one is baned, so that is... But it's with advantage because she is blinded. It's a 13 to hit.
That just hits. I'm 13.
Alright, so Dewey is going to take 7 bludgeoning damage.
You're rolling too much.
And 10 cold damage.
Ooh.
As soon as I see that happen, I want to do Rebuke the Violent.
Okay.
And so he has to do a Wisdom saving throw.
Paladins have all these things they can do. I think Jesse's sheet of stuff is like twice as long as anyone else's. Maybe some of the spells will get longer, but at the moment, it's quite a few things. He's gonna make Wisdom save with Bane. That is that comes to a 1.
All right, so he should take 17 damage, radiant damage.
Okay.
So I don't take any damage?
No, you still do. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but he also takes the same. Okay, cool.
The attacker takes radiant damage equal to the damage. Just don't.
Mm.
That's nice.
I have a random question. Steven,
Sure.
does that use it's under the list of reaction, so that doesn't use a spell slot. I just get it once per round. Is that just a combat round?
Yep, so not right now, you can't use another reaction until it's your turn again. So your like opportunity attack, you can't do that until it's your turn again.
But so can I no longer rebuke the violent in any other
Correct.
fight with this guy?
That's used up until your next turn. Once you take a turn, you get your reaction back.
Oh. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and it's still going to continue its attack on Dewey.
How is he looking?
It's hard to tell because this is as far as you know, this is it's like a coat filled with light.
Okay.
How does he still have more attacks?
But he took a lot of damage already.
That's a 17 to hit.
Yeah. Is that with Bane and everything? Not like it matters.
Oh, I didn't do Bane on that one. So it was 17. That
Yeah,
was
but-
a 15 to hit.
Okay. I was going to say, well, I don't think I can take off enough that would make it.
It's 38 cold damage.
Who did he attack?
Dewey.
Okay.
What does that put you at?
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm down.
You're not. You didn't hit negative 28 though, did you?
I don't think so. Hold on. It doesn't like tell me that. What was it?
Do you know what you were at before?
How much damage was it again? It was 30 what?
I forget already. 30.
30.
I want to say 38.
30. Yeah, I'm minus 25.
Okay. You barely avoided actual death, so you're unconscious.
Yay.
So just to clarify, he could keep attacking Dewey until she's dead forever?
So what happened here? So just breaking down the game mechanics. He has a blinding light ability that is a bonus action.
Yeah.
So did that and blinded her. Then he has when he takes the attack action, he gets 2 attacks. So he's got multi-attack. So then the first attack he does a slam, and then the second attack he does a cold ray. And then because she was blinded in the first bonus action, that gave him advantage on the 2 other attacks. And then he's got Bane subtracted from those, but they still hit. And then the slam is pretty tough because it does bludgeoning damage and cold damage. That cold ray, that's a lot of dice. So yeah, he got 3 things to do in that turn, and they all pointed at Dewey because she was there, and just annoyed him with the bang.
I should have used my rebuke then. Dang.
Yeah, you didn't know he still had another full thing.
No.
Yeah, that was the cold ray was the one that missed Jack on the first turn.
I mean, I have something that could protect Dewey that I could use, but do y'all think the monster will just keep? Okay, I guess I'll just use it.
So that ended his turn. So it's Gidgewish's turn.
Yep.
You just saw Dewey just get blasted with all this cold, and she fell down.
Yeah, I'm not really happy about that at all. But I kind of want to see if I can lead him away from everyone else. So I kind of just move out of the tent, out of that hole that I blue jacked through.
Sure.
And that's my only action, right?
You can move. You still get an action and bonus action.
Okay. Yeah, nothing useful. So, yeah, I think I'll just stay out here, just like lead him out.
Okay. Do you want to do something like try to like make an intimidation to get his attention?
Let's try that. Did not know I could do that.
Yeah, imagine if you're just trying to like distract him or get him away, you could like I don't know, just yell at him or try to do something to.
Got him. So I will have to roll
You
a
can-
d20 for that?
Yeah, sure. Roll an intimidation check.
Okay. That is 12.
Yeah, and so its neck twists and looks over towards Gidgewish.
Alright. That's what I wanted.
I don't think that's what you really want. But
Yeah. It's what I want. I
if he
just
can
like flip him
do
off, put up my middle
55,
finger.
if he can do 55 damage in one turn, I think we're all pretty much screwed.
It's Earl's turn.
How far am I away from this cone of light?
I think you're within 5 feet of it.
Okay. Can I inflict wounds? Like go up to it and actually now I'm thinking about it. Never mind. I don't know what this thing's gonna do to me. I'm gonna cast level 2 guiding bolt.
Okay. Go ahead and make your ranged spell attack.
And so that's just a d20 plus the 6.
It is, yes, d20 plus 6.
Alright, so that's a 19.
That's a hit.
So 5d6. 6, 3, 4, 1, 3, 5.
Maybe 2, if I did my math.
Yeah, I got 22.
Okay.
All right, yeah, you guys see these flashes of light. It's kind of interesting. They just kind of slam into its light, and it's just taking damage.
And bonus action, I like to use a spiritual weapon.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So weird rolling dice on a phone. Alright, so that's 16.
16 is a hit.
And that is 3, so that's 7.
How do you want to do this?
Ooh,
You had 7 hit points left.
okay. Yay. I like to take the little crook of it and like kind of jerk its neck a little bit. Be like, that's for Dewey.
Okay. Yeah, you slam into its neck, and you just see its light just fade out, and it falls over. Dewey, I want to have you make a death saving throw.
Alrighty. 10, right?
10 or higher.
Come on. 11.
All right, you have 1 success.
Are we at our initiative now?
We seem to be. There doesn't seem to be any other threats.
I'll cast Spare the Dying
Okay.
on Dewey.
How
Dewey
many?
is now stable.
Okay. How many points do we need to like be good?
You need at least 1 hit point to like be awake and up.
Sorry,
So
so
right now,
what
Dewey is at
the dying thing?
Spare
So you-
basically means you don't have to roll death saving throws, but I can't give you any hit points.
So can I just
so
mark
right now
these
you're at
successes?
I can
yeah.
give you some.
So she's at 0 hit points but unconscious.
Yeah, I could give you some hit points. I just don't know. I can give it 2 different ways. Okay, I'll just lay on hands and give you 10.
Oh, yay.
I'm imagining Kashesi sees this and remembers like Jack being really awkwardly close last night, and now he's doing it to Dewey.
Think about it for a second.
Dewey, wake up.
So that was like a ton of cold damage, right? So I think like I'm just like you guys can tell that like I'm conscious, but I'm just like completely shaking and like convulsing like with like shivers.
I offer more tea.
I run into the tent and like warm the tea up and give it to Dewey. And I like run back out of the tent and just start like kicking and stomping on the cloak where the light was.
Yeah, when you do that, there is something in there.
I'm gonna uncover whatever that is.
It seems to be a very severely frostbitten human.
I just shout for Earl, like, Earl, can you come look at this, please?
Okay, I run over. Do we recognize the human?
It's probably beyond recognition. The skin is all. It's just turned this gross color of death.
Is there anything unusual with the body? Like any like?
It's all like it's all like gnarled and in unnatural positions, and it seems like shriveled a little bit. It's not as big as it once was.
Mm.
You can tell it was probably a human, but it's really hard to identify much beyond that.
I wonder if this was someone who was like kicked out from the town and just like left out here and is like frostbitten and crazy.
But with that amount of damage?
I mean, it could have been a powerful wizard that got like thrown out, you know, like.
Or
I'll wrap Dewey in all our bedrolls,
Yeah, the tea is helping.
and I'll give her my socks.
oh, wait a second. The guy that was all shriveled up and whatnot, was he in like any winter clothes, or just the robe?
Bucket naked under there.
He was kind of in winter clothes,
Okay.
so they're a bit tattered, especially after the combat. But
Was he wearing socks?
make an investigation check.
18.
18. Yeah, you pull off the boots. There's some socks in there.
Oh, boots too.
Is it like
The boots
frozen
are
in
in
his body?
not good condition.
It's
I'll,
like,
Oh,
are the socks like frozen to him in like the frostbite? Like, ugh.
I'll get them off.
Well, while Jack is getting the socks off, I'm gonna go mend the tent.
Need more tea strainers.
Dewey kind of hears that and like gags a little. Like,
Can I cast detect magic on the corpse, see if anything unusual is emanating?
Sure.
All right, I cast detect magic.
I'm just gonna give you something because there's no magic here now, but you get the remnants of some kind of divine magic was here.
Okay.
Is anything else of value on the clothes? I want to look closer at all his clothing and accessories.
It seems like clothing you would see someone in town wear. There's nothing super stands out about it. It's just not in good condition. There's nothing in any pockets.
I can cure wounds myself, can't I?
I believe you can.
Just it says a creature you touch. Can I touch myself?
Yeah, you gotta touch yourself.
I just, I feel like before we go out for a long day, if this is how the day's starting, I'd like to get a little bit more. All right.
We still got potions and stuff too, but
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I got more, I guess, if you need it, that I can spare.
Oh no, I got myself up to. I touched myself really well.
What are you up to now?
I'm 27 out of 28, so I'm good.
Oh, I wonder if I should do. I'm at 14. Should I do more or just save it?
And just as a reminder to Earl, you still hear this distress signal repeating itself.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, I'm just kind of like hitting my ear a little bit, being like, ugh.
Is it safe to assume that Earl has relayed this message to us, or? Well, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so yet.
We
I don't
just
think
woke
so,
up,
because
and
we all just woke up, and I don't think I even told y'all I was a tooting. Great, so you all think I'm crazy.
So to recap the events of the morning, Dewey gave this
already-
inspirational speech. Jack made some gross tea. Kashezi made it a little bit better. And then you got blasted with light and had this weird fight with this thing. And here we are.
Great.
All right, guys, let's
Also, I'm
start
kinda
the day with a
disappointed.
good 9-hour trek on the road.
Well, guys, I can at least tell you what direction to go into. I've collected another voice, thanks to the side crystal.
Oh, perfect.
We gotta go east.
We're just slightly more east than the way you were going.
Okay.
I'll say with the thought in your mind, will just light it up on the map for you. You will know its exact location.
Do I need to have the side crystal like out in front of me, kind of like a homing beacon?
Not really. It just needs to kind of be within range, which isn't specified. So I would say if you're carrying it around with you, you're fine.
Okay. I was almost imagining having like the side crystal kind of like a
Beep, beep.
like a metal detector almost. Beep 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 beep.
You hear it repeating louder in your head as you get closer.
A Geiger counter.
You probably can if you want to try it and see if anything happens.
I'll tell everybody that I saw the lights again.
I think everyone's seen the lights at this point.
I think he means the little light
yeah.
that looks like somebody was walking a light around town. Right? Not the skylights.
Yeah, the little ones that point outside of the city.
Jack, make an intelligence roll.
I'll give you guidance, Jack. So add a D4.
Okay. Oh. Why are these rolls so bad? Five.
You think on it for a moment, but you think that creature that you just fought, that shone light out of its face, if you saw it at a distance, it would look very much like what you saw last night.
Oh, so that was this light moving around, like just.
Oh.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh.
And
Were there more than one?
you only saw one last night, and it was at a distance. But then you went to bed.
Oh. I wonder if what attracted him to the camp, guys, or her.
So Earl,
And while he
Earl knows the exact location of the nautiloid, which is it's in the mountains. It's to the east of the north-south pass, and it's kind of to the east of this little river chute.
Is that a river? Is that what that is? It's hard to tell rivers and roads.
Yeah, I can zoom in a bit. So the road here goes crosses the river here and continues south through the mountain pass. And it's somewhere back at the bottom of the screen here is where the avalanche happened, and it's blocking it. But then you got this river coming down from the mountain that joins the Red Run, and the nautiloid vessel is over here in the mountain. And you guys at this point are like up here. You're just a little ways southwest of Brinchender.
I just have to tell you guys a little side note. I think my cat knew that I almost died because this is like a new house and she's like barely left her room and she like has not really does it all. Came into my office and it's like curled up like on the floor next to like so I feel like she's coming to comfort me.
I think to myself and wonder if the Longhorn brought the guy.
Oh God, it probably did.
But I don't say anything to anybody else.
We all mentally think it, but we don't say anything to Jack. Oh, great. Yeah. Sounds about right. So were we able to fix the tent, or is it like a goner?
Kashezi, how are you going about trying to fix this? There are some posts that are bent that you could probably just stretch them back out. They won't be as sturdy as they once were, but they should work. But the main thing is a big portal-sized rip in basically one of the main walls of the fabric. So.
Does anyone have a sewing kit or something? Jack, that sounds like a random thing you would carry.
Yeah, let me check in the shell. I got some thieves' tools.
Oh, bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Isn't there like a mending spell that like does stuff like that? Am I making that up?
I think it's a spell that exists, but I don't know that anyone has it.
I got like 2 extra bedrolls we can use to cover it.
I mean, we have another tent, right?
You have to use it.
You do. I think you had two-person tents. Now, just imagining for the tea time, you guys all just huddled in around one.
Okay.
We'll use some thread from this guy's cloak too.
Just use the whole cloak.
We can take some of his bones and make a bone needle. I'm pretty resourceful.
I mean, I've got fishing tackle, which includes like steel hooks and like string. So it's like impromptu sewing kit.
That'll work.
Yeah. That's some good improv.
I was gonna say I have some like sealing wax, but that's not gonna do it. I'm like trying to see like what can I make work.
Who's the most handy of the team?
What would that be?
Jack thinks it's obvious.
What would it be to like fix something like that?
Is that like sleight of hand? Is it like a dex type of thing?
It depends on what you're trying to do. Usually any kind of like tinkering or building or constructing is a dexterity-based check.
I'm +4, but
Yeah, let's just sew a big patch on it. Two bedrolls should cover it, wouldn't you think? With the light man's cloak.
Okay, so you're going to try and sew some extra fabric from a bedroll into it using fishing line?
Yep.
What do you
Yes.
think, Chesney?
That's our option, so yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't have anything sewing related in my inventory.
Okay, and who is attempting to do it?
Who's got the best dexterity? I'm 0.
I'm +4.
0.
I'm also 0, but I feel so guilty for making a hole.
All right. I guess it's me.
Can you hum to yourself to give yourself some inspiration?
I'll like do it to a song. All right. So just a dexterity roll?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a 19, so +4, that's 23.
Okay, how long do you want to spend working on it?
Oh. How far does 30 minutes get me?
I'll say after about 30 minutes, you're about a third of the way through it. Took you some practice with the fish hook, getting it in and through, and finding a way to secure it and getting it to line up right. So you kind of figured out a strategy you think is going to work pretty well, and it's not going to let much cold in.
Mm-hmm. Is it not something I can do while we walk?
It'll probably not as easily.
Okay.
Especially if you're working with your fingers and you're not using gloves.
Okay. I'll kind of like ask the group, like, do you want me to keep doing this, or do you want me to? I think I figured it out, but it might be like another hour. We can maybe just like make up the hour later or something.
Yeah, well, we need a tent, so I think we should wait. I think we should just get it done with.
Yeah, I'd rather have it done right than have there be holes and stuff, and then we'd, it lets weather in or something.
All right.
Okay. My stitches look vaguely like notes on as if I'm like, I try not to do something cheesy like that, but it probably will kind of look like I'm writing notes on it. Can my mage hand help me go quicker?
It can probably like hold something for you if you need to like hold something here, like, oh, I need to grab something else. You can have your mage hand hold it for you.
Yeah.
So that it does exist.
Yeah. So it might like help with the speed of things.
Yeah, so you can get through the rest of it in about another 45 minutes.
Awesome. Perfect. Great.
And you have something at the end. You think it'll You probably want to replace this tent when you get back to town, but you think you can make do with it until then.
Cool. I'm really proud of it. I've never really sewn a lot before, so I'm really really jazzed about it.
All right.
I go over and inspect it closely.
And you wonder, what are these weird looking stitches?
Nope, looks good. Nicely done.
Oh, thank you. A compliment from Jack. Dewey's kind of preening a bit. Dewey's feeling a lot better. This, it was a rough morning.
Yeah.
Go from almost dying to a compliment from Jack? What?
Just trying to make sure you feel better. Get up on your feet. So we can get on the road quicker.
So knowing where your destination is, you can choose to turn and aim straight for it, go off the road, or you could just use you can travel a lot faster on the road. You could go further south down the road and then come off at a later point. So I'll say I'd throw that mostly to Earl to decide that, because he knows where you're going.
Is that an insight thing we can know that the difference between saving time cutting across versus the saving time following the road longer?
Yeah, can I do an insight check on that?
Let me see. I'll give you this. For 1 mile walking, just walking through heavy snow, you're gonna go at a 1/4 mile an hour. It's very slow to go marching through snow.
Sure.
If you're wearing snowshoes, you get to double that and go 1/2 mile an hour. If you're walking on the road, you can go 2 miles an hour.
All right, I'm inclined to go roads for as far as we can then.
And that's at a normal pace. You can say you're going at a fast pace or a slow pace, which adjusts things. And then you'd also know once you get to the mountains, if it becomes difficult terrain, that slows everything down.
But would I be able to say guide us as far the road as possible up until the point where we have to get to the mountains?
No, you don't have anything guiding you. You just know. You basically have a map where you know where the road goes and you know your destination in your mind.
Okay.
So that's kind of mostly up to you and how you want to navigate to get there. And you do know there's rivers in the way and trees and mountains.
Okay. All right, well, I guess with that in mind, I would go along the road for as long as we can.
I mean, you could go along the road all the way down to here, and then try to cut over. Or you might come down just to the river and try to cut over.
If we go up until the river, does that mean can we walk alongside the river, or is that we've got to build a canoe or something, or is the river frozen?
The river is mostly frozen, and there's a bridge going over it this way. There isn't anywhere else.
Okay.
But there's probably, I guess, I don't think you're not super familiar with the river. You just know there is one.
Okay. Then in that case, I would want to go as much on the road as possible up until where the river is.
Okay. So you've even on the road, you'll have a few more days of travel before you get there.
Okay, well, I guess at this point, I will tell everybody that I've attuned to the crystal and that the side crystal is basically acting like a homing beacon to me.
Yeah, so I will say it takes you another day and a half of travel to make it to the river. And you can, if there's nothing you guys want to do, it's otherwise mostly just boring. Walk along the road. It's the way you came into town. And yeah, there's not much to see along the way.
So would that mean everybody will have used like 2 days worth of rations?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it'd be now later in the day on the 17th, you find your way to the river.
So 17th we make it to the river?
Yep. And this is where once you get to the other side of the river, you start to see a steep elevation increase as you're moving further south.
Would we be able to travel faster by wearing either crampons or like snowshoes?
We got them.
If you're getting off the road, you probably definitely want to use snowshoes. Crampons would be good on the ice. So when you try to make a river crossing, you can probably find a place where it's frozen over, and the crampons would likely help you there.
Okay. Well, since we have to cross the river in order to get where the side crystal's leading me, I would say we cross.
All right. You think you came across the bridge, and now you're just gonna try and come across this way somewhere?
Would we have taken a long rest last night?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
Are we en route or still planning the route?
Kind of both.
Okay. A route.
So yeah, I guess if you want to go across the river, if you want to follow the river for a little bit until you get up here, that'll take another several days. Once you get off the road and start climbing up the mountain, your travel pace just goes a lot slower. The snowshoes help, but it's just kind of a rough go of it in the mountains.
But it's decidedly faster on the river versus mountains.
Either way, I think you're probably not walking on the river, but you can kind of follow next to it.
Okay.
So the heat sacrifice is just that one night, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. That's good. That's something to look forward to, Dewey.
What?
Being warmed.
Oh, yeah. in town when we finally get back to town.
So you guys are still traveling. If you're, I assume you're doing like a normal travel day at a normal pace, so no one's getting exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And just slow down every couple miles.
Sure. So be on the third day of travel past the river is the 20th, and Dewey would notice a new letter from Candlekeep.
I was literally about to say I check my bag.
How many rations did we eat, or should I eat, for that travel?
I think 3, I think.
Yeah, since the river, 3 more.
Okay, and we've long rested since the attack.
Yes.
Okay. So we were at the 17th when we crossed, so now there's 3 more days. Okay, hold on. Now eating into this.
And then
Rations.
3 rations.
Okay.
Tundra cake counts as a ration, right? A single?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I said it was 3 rations. So you can use it 3 times.
Each one is Tundra. 3 rations?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I used the Tundra last time, so I'm not going to use it now. Okay.
Cool. Oops. So now we're at the 20th of Eliant, yes?
Yep.
And what does my letter say?
It is in the document.
Huh. Okay. Should I read this? The 9/20. Okay. We can't help but be filled with trepidation as you plan to seek out an illithid nautiloid shipwreck. There are countless dangers of which I'm sure you are well aware of and have before taking the course of action. At this time, we put our faith in you as Mr. Gray. His faith is our wanderer. Be safe. The Arcane Brotherhood are as in the dark as we are regarding the actions of Dazan and his colleagues. While it's true some of their members have a reputation for safe behavior, they do not go around murdering in public. I've been told this is especially out of character for Dazan. There is no explanation for his actions, and the Brotherhood has not been able to of his research. A tiefling named Aravis, a human named Veline Harpel. Given the situation, these individuals should not. If have we met them? Why does that sound familiar? I spell people's name very differently based off of whatever. Varlene.
Varlene Harpel. That sounds familiar.
That does. I know. That's what.
Yeah, we know her.
Oh, wait. Was she?
That's who the kobolds were working for.
Yeah, like the 3 little kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, that is. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. There's more. The Arcane Brotherhood would, however, like to reestablish a line of communication among their members in Icewind Dale. Far to the north, along the shore of the Sea of Moving Ice, the Lord's Alliance maintains a top-secret, high-security prison. One of their prisoners is a man named Lesh Gant, a member of the Arcane Brotherhood. Years ago, Gant was on a previous similar research mission in Icewind Dale. Long story short, he now resides in a security prison. Of course, it's a long story short. The Arcane Brotherhood would like you to question him. He may have some information that could explain what is happening to members of the Arcane Dale. We are providing you with a sealed letter to the prison warden, which should grant you entry to see Gant. The Arcane Brotherhood has provided you with a letter to Gant explaining that if he cooperates with you, they will petition the Lord's Alliance for a shorter sentence. Find out whatever you can. Please find your payment enclosed. Signed, the Master Reader, MC. I'm not gonna try to butcher his name. All right, so we just got payment, which is our usual. What is it? 8 gold. 8 gold. So
Okay.
Jack, you can add 8 gold. I hand Jack the 8 gold.
All right, goes in the sock in the shell.
Okay. So yeah, I read it out loud so everyone knows what's going on. So I guess after we do
For me, your audio a little bit during that. So did anyone else have that issue?
I did.
It was a little choppy. I got to the document, but I'm a slow reader.
Is there anything that you want repeated or clarified? So in short, for anyone watching,
Thanks.
basically the Arcane Brotherhood is as confused as anyone else about why Dazan would have been a murderer. The Arcane Brotherhood is a little bit fishy in terms of abiding by the law. Sometimes powerful wizards feel like they're above the law, so that's kind of a reputation they have. However, it's strange for them to actively go out murdering, and apparently especially Dazan, it's out of character for him. So they said he had other team members on this research team, a tiefling named Avarice and a human named Valine Harpo. Given the situation, these individuals should not be trusted if encountered, because they don't know what happened with Dazan, and they don't have any communication with what happened with anyone else. So then they said years ago they had a previous research mission in Icewind Dale that apparently also was not successful. For one of its members, a man named Valish Gant, is now in a top secret high security prison. And this prison is in the northernmost tip of Icewind Dale along the Sea of Moving Ice. And they've asked you basically to go there and interview him to see if he knows what's going on. And in exchange for that, they're willing to petition the Lord's Alliance for a shorter sentence if he cooperates with you. So now that you're going to the south of Icewind Dale, you've got a quest to the north.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
But otherwise, so far on your travels, there's not been a whole lot else to report on since you had that attack. It's been mostly quiet. They're coming in towards the mountains. There are some more tree line.
Still looking for wood.
Oh yeah, you can find some wood.
Okay.
So basically, since you pass the river, you can find stuff.
All right. I added some to my inventory.
Sure. And yeah, otherwise not a whole lot. It's just it's nice to have a slightly different view than just snowy tundra. Now you got snowy forest and mountain. But yeah, you think you're now only a couple days away from your destination.
Susanna, did Earl send his message to Candlekeep?
I certainly meant to. Thought I did.
Earl sent quite a few. I think because you were recording a lot of your dreams and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so that they know what you're doing heading towards the Illithids.
Just as an FYI, I'm doing my morning pep talk, 7 temporary hit points every morning thing, just to cover our bases in case someone attacks us in the morning.
Do the song, Dewey. Do the song.
Oh yeah. I try to mix it up every day so it doesn't get too repetitive, but
And you had those temporary hit points on the day of the attack?
I did.
So that saved you from being very dead.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
going to
think-
say in one of these nights, I'll say this the evening of the 20th, when you guys are doing your watch. Previously, I think it was on your way back to Goodmead from the Verbeek's cave. There was one night, I think it was Kashezi saw the giant bird. Is that right?
Yes.
This night, on Earl's watch, looking up at the sky and seeing the aurora, you think you see something large flying in the sky. And at first you wonder, like, is this it? Am I seeing the giant bird that people say is helping create the aurora? But after a moment of looking at it, no, it's not a giant bird. This is a ancient white dragon flying high overhead. It's flying towards the east.
Towards where the ship is?
No, it's flying basically to the left on the map.
Okay, so the opposite.
It is to the north of you, and it's heading like basically due east. And it's far enough away from you, you don't think it sees you at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a startling thing you see.
A white dragon.
Yeah, and it's lit up by the aurora.
I don't know what check this is. Could I don't think
It's a huge dragon.
Can we do a detect good and evil?
It's way too far away.
Can I do a history check to see if what dragons are, or maybe an arcana check to
Sure.
see? Okay, I'll do history then. $13.
So just given a cursory understanding of dragons, not to get too racist about it, but you know that metallic dragons are usually good and chromatic dragons are usually bad. So white would fall in the chromatic category. So not to judge a dragon by its scales, but that's kind of generally how it goes.
Okay.
And the white dragons are usually more adapted to cold climates. So of any dragon you would see here, white dragon makes sense.
Okay. I'll let the group know what I saw.
Okay. All right. So you guys, the next morning on the 21st, you will get that information from Earl.
Have we seen dragons before in our lives?
I'd say that's up to you.
Okay.
They're not extremely rare, but they also don't tend to hang out around crowded areas as much.
Probably as rare as like a turtle and a tabaxi being together.
Not impossible.
But certainly not common.
So that happened in the past. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Are we still in the past? Is this past tense happenings? Or are we back on the trail?
You're on the trail.
After
It'll be the morning of the 21st. You guys are still climbing up the mountain towards the shipwreck.
Is it the start of the day or the end?
It'll be the start of the day.
Okay.
You think you got another day or two of travel to go to get there?
I would say as we're like, we know we're getting close, like, start talking about a game plan. Like, this is obviously a very, like...
Am I getting any sense from the side crystal that we're getting pretty close?
You kind of you know where your destination is, so you know you're getting closer to it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably another good day to 2 days of travel.
Is the voice in my head getting louder? Like, is it like grating on me at this point?
It's you'd be happy for it to stop, but it's not any different than it was before.
Okay.
It's not like driving you insane or anything. It's there. And it's probably more the awareness of Craybrack following you around that probably bothers you more than the distress call.
Has Craybrack been doing anything like unusual?
You just notice when he's been like nearby. He's kind of basically just following you guys. He keeps a little bit of distance, but he's never too far away.
Okay. But like, I can't see like his facial expression or anything. It's just more kind of like an aura.
You kind of just know he's there. It's kind of weird to explain.
Okay.
It's just something that's in your mind that just knows.
Okay.
During the night watches, I've been whittling.
Okay. Now, if you want to go back and retcon, I will say one of the main things in all of 10 Towns is an art form of scrimshaw, using the knucklehead trout bones.
Mm.
So if Jack is interested in that, he could have learned a little bit from someone. He stopped from somewhere, and he could be scrimshawing instead of whittling, if you'd like.
I took notes of the texture and stuff and made a few sketches on my scrolls, but I'm still working in wood at the moment.
Okay.
How long are these bones?
The fish are big, like.
Okay.
And they have a big, thick forehead, so that people make that like a little canvas for their artwork.
Okay, maybe I took a few bones.
But then, yeah, the fish bones get turned into all different types of little tools. You'll see some places have like their silverware made out of bones. And...
Handy. I would have collected a few of those.
Yeah. All right. So you guys will go another day, and we can call it the 22nd.
Oh, what I was kind of saying before, like, are we talking about a game plan here? Like, how are we approaching these guys?
Okay.
We're just like, yo, here's your thing you need. Bye. Go ahead and leave now. And then just like running away. Is it like we just like run up, like toss it to them and like run back? Like, because these guys are scary.
I think the day before we anticipate going, I'll pray to Celestian for guidance. See if I can get some divine inspiration, so to speak. But I doubt I could just take the like mind crystal and like chuck it like a football. Was there anything in my previous vision about the mind flayers that would help me in this to determine like a best course of action. Could I do like an insight check?
Sure.
All right, 19.
So you were shown the ship before it crashed, and you were told it was going to crash, and then from a distance you saw the crash, and you were told that they would need help with a power source and where to find it, and you went there and you found it, and then you were guided to attune to a psi crystal, and the psi crystal has guided you here. So it's kind of a recap of all the information you have surrounding it.
But I wasn't given here's how to give them the psi crystal.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Okay. I'd say let's at least be within visual range of the ship and see how they're acting before we take some, action, because we don't know, like, if these mind flayers are injured. We don't know if they're, like, embarking or trying to find victims or anything. Like, we don't know the condition of the ship yet, or even of the passengers.
Yeah, I just hope they just don't like attack us, because that hurts. And they have really long range on that.
Well, if the psi crystal's acting like a homing beacon, are they going to sense the psi crystal as we're getting, like, are they sensing that the crystal's coming towards them?
Do you think that could be a possibility?
Okay. So at absolute minimum, like, if there's concern about mind flares for the group, I can go ahead and, like, present the psi crystal. Because they're already sensing it's coming closer. I don't know what else to do.
We can blow the horn and have them come out to us. But we'll hide in the snow.
Yeah, I just think we just need to be really cautious and prepared.
Just send in the crystal on the sage hand.
Oh, yeah.
Mage Hand has a limit of, was that 60 feet?
Is that the limit of their brain powers, too? One could hope.
I'll shoot the mage hand on an arrow, and then it can fly the rest of the way.
Well, let's say let's get, like, closer to the mind flares and then see if we sense anything unusual. Like, do we sense any, like, psychic activity?
That's gonna be fine.
No problems. No one's gonna eat our brains.
I mean, yeah. I just have PTSD, so don't talk to me. Just go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid and do it, and I'll just figure it out my brain.
So, welcome to the finale of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost.
I've already almost died once tonight. Like, what's a good, brain suck, Sure.
Earl at this point will do anything just to get the third voice out of his head.
Oh yeah.
So, any more planning you guys want to do? That we can just jump to. It'll be on the 22nd is the day that you would make it there, so we can jump to that morning. if there's any last day planning you want to do.
Just do my same pep talk.
Yep, let's meet some mind flayers.
Do we need to split up and spread out?
I don't know.
Maybe we could just space Kashesi out a bit so she hurts the right people. I walk
That's
on the
fair.
far side of Kashesi.
Kashesti and I could be in the front. You all could be in the back.
Do you know alien songs?
Is this?
It'll be like
I
Aladdin.
think I'm quasi curious for some like Illithid songs. But can I maybe do some sort of check thinking? This is kind of metagaming, but like, if they did an attack, would it be on intelligence or wisdom? Like, do you think I can do a?
Make an Arcana check.
21.
From just what you think about mind flayers, they tend to make intelligence attacks.
Okay.
Or just physical attacks and eat brains.
Got it.
Usually some combination of the two will do the trick.
Yes, of course. Combo. I am going to, when we get where I know that we're probably within like 45 minutes away, I am going to do my enhance ability and give Earl Fox's cunning, which will give advantage on intelligence checks for an hour.
Okay.
So like when I know we're getting close, I give you plenty of time to be able to use it. So.
Okay. So I'll say during this day, you continue marching up the mountain. You keep going. Your normal late sunrise comes to a sunset in the mid-afternoon, and just as the sunset, and we're in the mountains, so we got the long shadows, so it's even kind of earlier than you're used to. But as it's getting darker, you just see this eerie glow kind of ahead of you. Something else is lighting up. It looks pretty ominous ahead. So you kind of have a good clue that you've almost arrived.
Okay.
So until you get over a ridge and look into, there's a small valley, and you see, it looks as the ship came down, it dug a furrow in the snowy valley and skidded to a stop. It looks like a cephalopod with slimy, ropey tentacles as thick as tree trunks that have tried and failed to bury its immense bulk in the snow.
Okay.
How far away are we now?
I'd say you're within a couple 100 feet.
Okay.
And all of you notice, kind of outside of it, there are two monstrous beasts that... How do I describe this thing? It basically looks like a big worm with leg tentacles. They're large. So a large creature in D&D is like 10 foot wide. I've got a picture of them.
Eight.
There's two of them. They look like this. And they're kind of just sitting there near the ship. They see you. They're looking at you. And all of their little feet and tentacles are just wiggling all the time.
They don't happen to be friendly wiggles, do they?
You can make an insight check.
Great. Sure. Okay, that's a 16.
You are unsure what they are communicating with their wiggles.
Maybe we should start wiggling too.
And I'm going to assume this is a creature that none of us have ever seen before.
That is correct. These look completely alien to anything any of you have ever seen.
Would we know whether these are found in Icewind Dale?
Make a nature check.
Okay. 15.
You're not 100% sure, but you have not heard of anything like it living around here.
Okay.
Seeing how they are next to a spaceship, you think that gives you a clue as to where they came from.
All right, there's clearly a correlation here.
The spaceship
Alright.
has tentacles. They have tentacles. We know where they're going. Has tentacles.
Sensing a theme here. Okay.
Tentacles, tentacles.
Who are we gonna send?
Well, I think I've got to go because I'm the one who has the psi crystal. Have these little worm tentacle creature things? Are they sensing anything from us or from me? Like, do they sense the psi crystal by any means?
You don't know.
Okay.
They do seem to notice you. They have eyes. They're looking towards you guys since you popped up. But they haven't otherwise like moved around or done anything.
All right, so they're just chilling.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to walk up there with you a bit, Earl, and do divine sense on them?
Yeah, that'd be great because I would love to do like detect magic, but like I've got to be within 30 feet in order
I'm
to
60.
use it. Ooh.
I think I'm 60 feet. As an action, you can detect good or evil. Until the end of the next turn, you can sense anything affected by Hallow Spell or know the location of celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover. So I don't know if those are two separate things in one skill set. But I assume
That's your divine
60 feet
sense?
applies to everything. Yeah. So good and evil is one thing, and then Hallow Spell and Celestial Fiend Undead is another thing.
So as I read it, like you will detect good and evil like immediately, and then for the next until the end of your next turn, which is about 6 seconds of time, you can sense the Hollow Spell and the location of any Celestial Fiend and Undead. So the good and evil is like a one-time instantaneous thing. The other things you have 6 seconds, so if like something was moving, you would be able to detect it for the entire duration of that 6 seconds.
Okay, but we're saying 60 feet applies to both.
Yes.
The whole thing. Okay. Yeah, I'll go up there with you here if you want.
All right.
I think we should all come at least within 60 feet. I think, or maybe we're just like 1 foot beyond, you know? But like you can step up to 60 feet. But we're not going to let you go like too far. Like, without being able to like run in if we need to.
Okay.
Okay,
Ready
so
to
you
do
guys
this?
are approaching?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I'll pull out my longbow.
Yeah, those creatures, you see the nautiloid vessel, those creatures are just sitting outside of it. They kind of just watch you approach. They don't otherwise do much of anything. One thing that does happen, Dewey, you start to hear this buzzing sound in your head and this crazy garbled noise. It's not super loud, but you hear it for a moment and it kind of goes away. But after a minute, you hear it again.
I'll kind of say out loud, like, is anyone else hearing that?
I don't. I have ear flaps.
I mean,
What'd you say, Dewey?
I still hear the homing beacon every minute or so.
Is that can I try to repeat the garblediness as best as possible?
Make a performance check.
Got this.
Here we go.
I got this.
Wait, so let me give you some guidance. So add a D4.
All right. Okay. Well, that was already at a 18 plus 7, so I was already at 25 plus a 4. I beautifully replicate as if it was just a recording what's happening in my head.
So the experience of a tabaxi speaking deep speech is quite something. But Earl can confirm enough of it that Dew is probably picking up on the same distress beacon.
Okay.
Oh, why am I doing that?
Yeah. Earl's like, you're hearing the distress beacon too?
I think so.
And then Earl just looks at Dew and says, now imagine hearing that for the past 5 days, constantly. Welcome to my world.
Can I do like an insight check as to like why I might be hearing it? Like I'm not attuned to it.
Sure.
Oh, 16.
So from the noise itself, you're not really much able to infer from anything from it. You don't really understand it. But you gather from Earl that it's the ship letting off some kind of distress beacon, some kind of psychic energy, and you're close to it now. So maybe something's registering for you.
I mean, I do have these like nice like cat ears, so just catching it, I guess. Okay.
It doesn't seem to be coming from your ears at all. It's right in your mind.
Mental. Oh, okay.
Or
I already have like chills, and I'm getting the creeps from this.
Yeah. And you see those creatures looking at you, wiggling.
Oh, I just thought of this. With the mind flayers or these creaturey things, can I speak to them via telepathy with the psi crystal?
You can try to.
All right, what the heck? I'm going to try to. Speaking in deep speech.
Who are you targeting?
I'll target one of the creature things and say, hello, can you understand me?
That is an interesting question.
Well, like if it's not an animal that like it could be just a creature that doesn't understand.
I know. And of course, that's the question we ask. Right?
There is no response.
Okay. Do I get any sense from the creature? Like any?
I'll say make an intelligence check. Or, yeah, make an intelligence check.
And I can use the fox's cunning with this?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so is that advantage or what?
Yes, you get. Hold on, let me read it.
Boop.
Yes, you have an advantage on intelligence.
Glad for that, because I would have gotten a 3. Yay! Okay, so 21.
What you think is that these creatures are not intelligent enough to understand language.
Okay. All right.
So whether you're reaching out mentally and trying to communicate something, but they just don't have the capacity to understand.
Oh.
Mm. But okay, could I try to use telepathy on the ship with the tentacles? Like, am I within 60 feet of that?
It's a little bit further out. But I'll say before you even get that far, after you've been here for a couple minutes, like Dewey has stopped to ponder this. You've tried to reach out to the weird bug things. After a few minutes, the distress beacon stops.
Oh.
And just the silence in your head is more noisy than anything.
We're within 60 now?
You're within 60 of the creatures. The ship is probably another 10, 20 feet beyond.
Can I still sense Craybrack?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, yeah, Earl, you suddenly hear this voice in your mind, and it is not a language you understand.
Ooh. That's unusual. Can I tell what voice it is?
You are not sure. Yeah, it sounds like a language you've heard before, but you can't place it.
And I used to have a potion that would let me understand languages, but I think I sold it. Never mind. Dang it.
What's it sound like? Can you try to repeat it and see if we can figure it out?
At this point, is Earl telling the rest of the group that she's heard something or he's heard something?
Yes. I will say that I'm hearing something super unusual, and it's not common or deep speech or dwarvish or giant or infernal.
Could be Aquan.
Maybe ask it back if it knows a different language.
Yeah, I can try. I will communicate via telepathy, and I'll tell everybody that I'm doing this. That I will communicate in like all the known languages that I have, saying, "Hello, can you understand me?"
Yeah, for a moment there's no response.
Great.
But then suddenly all of you hear a voice, and Jack is the only one who understands it.
Oh.
Oh. Hey.
In Gnomish, Jack hears someone say,
I knew that'd come in handy.
You've brought a psi crystal? Come aboard and we will discuss.
Oh.
And I think that's a good place to leave it off for tonight.
Oh. Aren't y'all so glad you have me along?
So we have aliens that speak Gnomish? What the heck?
Interesting.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up there for tonight. We've made it to the crash ship, and it's weird already. We haven't even seen much. But, yeah, we'll pick it up next week.
All right.
Good times.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.